And welcome to Chris Garcia, the conservative American. I'm so glad to be with you on this Friday. We're about to start our weekend pretty soon, and I just feel so blessed to be with you. We've been just very, very, very busy here at Radio Tribune. We've had so many great guests, so many shows, so many powerful shows. I told you about that, and things are just getting bigger and better here at Radio Tribune. What I wanted to talk to you about today is something that is very, very dear and dear to my heart, and that is what's going on in this country as far as immigration is concerned. It is getting out of control. We have people that are in this country illegally that should not be here. It is just absolutely ridiculous what is going on in this country. We all heard about the girl that was a 14-year-old freshman girl that was raped in Maryland, 14 years old, by one 17-year-old, one 18-year-old, one from El Salvador, one from Guatemala. I think it's just absolutely ridiculous. They were in this country, and ICE had been looking for them. They were in this country legally, and ICE had been looking for them. And here they pop up in Maryland, who in this county that it happened in, that the rape happened in. They had just had a vote to make it a sanctuary city, to make it a sanctuary county. They actually, Democratic lawmakers, want to make the state of Maryland a sanctuary state. It is absolutely ridiculous, and just goes to show you how powerful God is. 2 days after that, a young lady was raped, 14 years old. It is disgusting, by two illegal immigrants, one from Guatemala and one from El Salvador, and they made their way up through, guess where? Of the Mexican border. Exactly what Donald Trump had been talking about. And that's just rapes. I mean, when is the dirty bomb going to be set off in one of our cities through the Mexican border? What is it going to take? I mean, I can understand some of these left-wing nuts. I can understand some of these San Francisco elitists. I can understand some of these New York elitists. I get it. But don't the rest of us have common sense? I mean, do you leave your door open and just let anybody come into your house from another country? You don't know where they're from. You don't ask them any questions. They call it extreme vetting. So if you ask somebody a question, where are you from? What are you doing here? What do you want? That's an extreme vet. I don't think so. They didn't know my father. My father was a military police officer for 21 years. He extreme vetted you. If you were just going to the store, if he was going to take his car and go to a party, he had to know every single thing about everything that you were going to do and every place that you were going to go. The only thing Donald Trump, first of all, the only thing he's talking about is criminals, people that have entered this country illegally or people that have committed crimes in this country while here illegally. Those are the people that he wants to have thrown out of this country, and they call that extreme vetting. The left-wing liberals, they say that that's extreme and say that that's racism. No, the only reason they want those people in this country is because those are future votes. When you are allowed to come in this country illegally, you're going to vote for the party that allowed you to come into this country illegally. And that's the Democratic Party. Those are the people that they want to have come in this country because those are future votes. Their children are future votes, and their children's children are future votes and welfare recipients. So they're going to continue to pay them, and they're going to continue to give them food stamps, and they're going to continue to give them Social Security, and they're going to continue to give them Medicaid, Obamacare, so that they continue to have those people's votes for years and years and years to come. And finally, November the 8th of last year, people got tired of it, and from coast to coast, they stood up and voted against this wave of illegal immigration. People are not stupid. Hardworking people see their jobs going overseas. They see their living wages going down, while everything from bread to eggs to gasoline is going up, going through the roof. And people are tired of what's going on. Their pockets are getting diminished while they see people coming over here illegally and getting benefits and getting things that they don't get themselves, and they are legal citizens of the United States of America. It's very difficult for me or my wife to make ends meet, and yet we see people coming over here illegally and getting things that is tough for American citizens to get. And people stood up and they voted, and it's about time for it to stop. It's about time for us to all find out who's in our country. Look at what happened in London, England. And guess who took credit for that attack that killed 4 people, injured over 40, and killed a police officer there who was trying to protect the people? ISIS. ISIS took credit for what happened in London, England. They are taking credit for terrorist attacks, and make no mistake, they are trying to get as many agents as they possibly can up through that Mexican border before Donald Trump builds that wall. And my fear is that the Democratic Party, these left-wing nuts, are going to fight him tooth and nail, along with the Mexican government, who are in coercion together. They're going to try and keep that wall from getting built. They're going to try and not pay for that wall. Donald Trump is going to build that wall, and you are going to pay for it. I guarantee you that. He is a man of his word, and trust and believe that is going to happen. It is just very disturbing when it seems like we elect Americans. I don't care if you're Democrats or Republicans, because in some instances I cannot tell the difference, Paul Ryan. I can't tell the difference who's who. And these people are fighting tooth and nail against a man who took a tremendous pay cut to do this job, in Donald Trump, who has had to put himself and his family through the ringer, through the political ringer. And all he's trying to do is keep our country safe and secure. The only thing Donald Trump is trying to do is make our country better. That's all he's trying to do. And so to me, it's disgusting to see these people fight against him tooth and nail. Building a wall is trying to protect our country. Israel did it. And that's why the number of attacks happening in Jerusalem are down tremendously since they began the construction of their wall. They are about protecting their people. They're about taking the fight to the terrorists on the West Bank. And that's what you have to do. You can't sit back and allow missiles to, they never talk about that. The only thing that they ever talk about, you see some Israeli soldiers supposedly brutalizing people on the West Bank. That's all that you see, right? You never see all the Palestinian terrorists that are lobbing bombs into the settlements in the West Bank, trying to get them to Jerusalem and killing and terrorizing innocent Israelis. You never hear about that. All you see is some little Palestinian kid being held by his father in his arm and crying in front of the television like we're supposed to be sympathetic to that. I'm not. I tell you what, tell those people over there, tell those terrorists that you support, the PLO and all those other organizations, tell them to put those weapons down. Tell them to put those bombs down. Stop lobbing missiles into settlements in the West Bank. That is their territory. They can build settlements there if they want. They can build suburbs, and I hope that they build more. And I know one thing: the United States and Donald Trump's administration is going to support Israel, is going to support Jerusalem 120% on those settlements. I think the Obama administration was lukewarm towards Israel at best. I think the Israeli government did not feel that Barack Obama had their back like Donald Trump does. And I think that absolutely that's why some of their leaders were coming to meet with Congress in the United States of America right in front of Barack Obama without his permission. That's why Benjamin Netanyahu gave a speech to Congress without Barack Obama's permission. And the Republican caucus was very happy to have him come and give that speech. Benjamin Netanyahu has been a wonderful prime minister of Israel, and he is about taking the fight to the Palestinians. He's about taking the fight to those terrorist organizations over there. Let's call them what they are, the PLO and all those organizations. Those are terrorist states. Those are terrorist organizations. They train Al-Qaeda. They train the Muslim Brotherhood. They train ISIS. They give them a safe haven. And that's why Benjamin Netanyahu takes the fight to the Palestinians, to people on the West Bank. That is absolutely what he should do. Absolutely, that's what he should do. And I hope that Donald Trump and the United States government supports Netanyahu and supports the Israeli government, their fight against terror. I hope that they support them 120%. But getting back to our country, we've got to do something about our borders. We've got to do something about these immigrants. We had a 31-year-old member of MS-13, one of the most dangerous gangs coming out of El Salvador, attack 2 women outside of Long Island, New York, and attack a 2-year-old child. It is absolutely ridiculous what is going on. It's a joke what's going on today. And again, this man had been deported by ICE 4 times between 2006 and 2011. What is he doing in our country? Why is he back in our country? Why was he not detained? Why was he not in prison? He was on ISIS watch list. Can you imagine if we just did our job? Can you imagine if he was never allowed it? And, 3 people could have lost their lives. A 2-year-old child was attacked for absolutely no reason at all because this animal was allowed back in our country. Why is that happening? What's going on? You know, again, I always call myself the conservative American, and conservative to my dad, conservative to me, make common sense. That's just common sense. Why are these criminals? You know, we're American citizens. I'm an American citizen. Can you imagine if we committed these crimes, what would happen to us? We'd be under the jail. We'd be under the prison. Why are these people allowed to be free and come back to our country time and time and time again? This man was deported 4 times between 2006 and 2011 and continued to come back into our country because we have no borders. Thanks to Barack Obama and Bill Clinton, we have open borders. That's what we have. And these people are continuously coming back and forth into our country through Mexico, into our country through Canada. I even believe, and I know the Canadian border is much better guarded than our southern border, but I believe we need a wall, period. I believe we need a wall on our northern and southern border. And I hope that one day somebody takes that up because, trust me, the second that you make it difficult for these criminals, for these illegal immigrants to come through the southern border, they will come through Canada. And we all know Canada, probably next to Germany, has the laxest stance on illegal immigration. They have a large Muslim population in Canada. They've had attacks themselves, and they are very lax and very liberal when it comes to having people come here from some of these terrorist-supported states, Iraq, Iran, Syria, so forth and so on. And I mean, I understand our government has taken Iraq off the watch list, but I haven't. I don't believe that they've changed their stripes. I think Iraq is still a terrorist-supported state, as well as Afghanistan and all Palestine and all these other countries. I don't care what anybody says. I think the people coming from these areas needs to be vetted extremely hard, extremely difficult. We need to know why and for what they are coming into our country. It is just an absolute joke what is going on. It's silly. And they're fighting our president tooth and nail. And the only thing that he wants to do is secure the American people so that 2-year-old children aren't attacked by MS-13 members who are in our country illegally. That's the only thing he's trying to do. And they're saying he's racist and he's far right and he's ultra conservative. Wow, it's just a joke what's going on. There's no common sense anymore in this world. We have lost all, we are so far to the extremes in this country. You got people flying Confederate flags, which I think is absolutely ridiculous. That's a joke. It's not 1843 anymore. The Civil War is over. It's a joke. I think that's extreme right. And then you have extreme nuts like Nancy Pelosi that wants open borders. What happened to common sense? We have lost our minds in this country. We have got to get back to common sense. We went so far in one direction, and now we're going so far back in another direction. And Donald Trump is just speaking common sense. That's all he's doing. He's not saying, listen, we are a country of immigrants. We have a history of immigrants. I'm here. My parents were immigrants. Donald Trump's parents and grandparents were immigrants. Everybody is here because somebody brought them here. That's what makes this country so great. We are a giant melting pot. There is nothing wrong with that, but in each case, my family and everybody else came here legally. That's the way you're supposed to come into our country. If you go into any other country, you get stopped by the border and you get asked for your documents. Why can't we do that? Why do we have to have open borders? Why can't we just have borders that still let people come in? This is the greatest country on earth. I know everybody wants to come here. I know everybody sees that Statue of Liberty and begins to cry. I know everybody lives in their war-torn countries, their third world nation countries, and looks at the United States on TV and they want to come here. I understand that. Stand in line. You don't get to cut line at the grocery store. You don't get to cut line at the DMV. Why do you get to cut line when you come into our country? You should have to stand in line and pull out your documents just like everybody else. Listen, we're still going to be here. We keep the light on for you. We'll wait. But you need to pull out your documents, and we need to know your name. We need to know why you're here. We need to know what country you're from. We need to know your history. We need to know if you've been deported from our country before. We need to know if you're a criminal or not. These are just common sense questions. I don't see anything wrong with that. I think that it is a joke for these liberal nuts in these sanctuary cities to say that whether they're criminals or not, these people should be able to be here and should be protected by the law. And that you are a racist and you are discriminating and all of these different crazy ideas just if you ask them questions. You know, it's crazy what's going on in this country. Absolutely insane. We have lost all sense of common sense whatsoever in this country. We have gone so far to the left. These nuts in San Francisco and New York and Washington, D.C. and Los Angeles, you know, these Hollywood stars that cry, you know, because Donald Trump and they were going to leave. What, you know, remember all of them were supposed to leave the country when Donald Trump won? How many? Did Whoopi Goldberg leave the country? Did Jay, you know, all of the members of The View, those left-wing nuts to do that show, did any of them leave the country? I thought they were all supposed to leave the country. Isn't that what they told us? And Donald Trump won. What happened to Madonna? You know, I thought they was all, they can't take it anymore. Well, why don't you leave? Why don't you go to whatever country you say you're going to go to? You're all crazy. Every single one of them. This man wants to do what's best for the United States of America. And we need to get behind him. And we need to do something about this illegal immigration problem that we are having in our country. The other subject that I want to talk to you about today is it seems like there was some wiretapping going on. It seems like Devin Nunes, it seems like the House Intelligence Committee leader, absolutely has found some substance behind what our president, Donald Trump, says. I always like to look back at that sign. I love that sign. We were on Donald Trump winning this election way before anybody else. My wife, the executive producer, Garcia, said over a year ago Donald Trump was going to be president. The owner of the Las Vegas Tribune, Rolando Ross, said over a year ago Donald Trump was going to be president. It took me a little while because I thought the people were so far gone that they wouldn't wake up, but they woke up on time. And that was a shock of the world on November the 8th. When I started seeing those results coming back from those counties in Florida, from back east, I took a look at my wife and I said, he's going to win. They're not getting the votes out of those counties that they need to win. But I want to talk to you about that wiretapping. You know, he is, and I keep saying this, he does things so differently, from talking directly to the people through Twitter, through owning whatever he's done. I've never seen a person like that on national TV. Whatever he does, you know, from supposedly grabbing a woman or the conversation that he had with Billy Bush, whatever. Donald Trump owns it, and I've always told people that, you know, that's a big word for Oprah, own it. I think when you own it, it's not news anymore. You know, it's only news when you're lying. When you own it, whatever it is, it goes away very quickly because they don't have anything on you. You know, just own it up. And he did that. He said, I'm sorry, I did do that. You know, it's a different day and age, but don't tell me nobody talks like this in locker rooms, because we absolutely do. And he owned it. You know what I'm saying? And I think that he everything that he does is so different. You know, I always knew that Barack Obama gave orders for these wiretaps. There's no doubt about it. They're very smart. They're very slick. He's from the South Side of Chicago. I'm from the South Side of Chicago. The man, you know, we all remember Barack Obama when he was an activist on the South Side. I went to go see him give a speech in Des Moines, Iowa, and I looked at my sister and I said, he's going to be the first African-American president, because the dude is sharp. I think he's a nut. I think he's an activist. I think he's a left-wing liberal nutso. You know, his whole family is. But the thing about it is that he's sharp. And I give people credit where credit is due. Barack Hussein Obama is a sharp nut. He is insane, and he is definitely a left-wing liberal, but he is no dummy whatsoever. He's a very intelligent man. And there's no doubt that he ordered those wiretaps, but he ordered those wiretaps. And it's such a slippery slope the way that he did it that it's very tough to prove that he or his administration had anything to do with it. But, you know, we're not stupid. Americans aren't dumb. You take orders from people. There's nobody that went rogue and gave out the names of the people that the Russian ambassadors and people was talking to. Nobody does that. When you have those kind of jobs, you know not only is your job on the line, your safety could be on the line, your future could be on the line, your freedom could be on the line. Nobody goes rogue and just gives the name of American citizens that have been caught on those wiretaps. That comes from the top. And of course, these people will, I think people will take the fall for Barack Obama, just like Flynn took the fall for Donald Trump and took the fall for the vice president, who had absolutely no idea. He had absolutely no idea, that poor man, what was going on, and that those conversations had even been held before Donald Trump won the White House. He was still a private citizen, so was Flynn. And it is illegal to use the names of American citizens in a wiretap unless you have a warrant. Devin Nunes admitted that. There's no doubt in my mind that Barack Obama, it goes all the way to the top. They were ordered to listen in on those conversations through the law that you're allowed to wiretap foreign agents or foreign ambassadors or foreign workers, and but it is illegal to use an American's name to drop Americans' names that you caught on those wiretaps. It is an absolute felony. The person that did that should be locked up, and I believe the House Intelligence Committee, along with James Comey, I think he's going to be back in the hot seat. They're going to get to the bottom of who dropped these names to the American citizens, who dropped these names to WikiLeaks. Is going to come out, I believe, and I think those people are going to take the fall for Barack Hussein Obama, and of course, and that was a wink, wink, nod, nod to the Clintons. They were trying to help Hillary Clinton, whose campaign was washing out towards the end there. You could start to feel the momentum that Donald Trump was closing the gap, even though I think he had a couple of tough debates. I think the last debate he clearly won. I think it just showed he was not a politician in the first couple of debates, but by the end, substance won over him being a politician, and I think he won the third debate. The first debate, he clearly lost. The second debate, I think, was about even. I think both people made their points, but I think the third debate, he won. And I think we all remember she had like a 10-point lead, and when it came down to the last couple of weeks, the lead was down to 2 or 3 points. And I think that whole Clinton campaign was beginning to say, uh-oh. I think they were beginning to say, we are in trouble, and we've got to find something. And I think that they knew, there's no doubt in my mind, that the Trump administration was getting help through WikiLeaks, and I think that they were getting help through the government of Russia, through Vladimir Putin. I don't think there's any doubt about that. It's nothing new about that. Barack Obama got help. George Bush got help. Ronald Reagan got help. George Bush Sr. got help. Bill Clinton got help. You get help by your friends. You have important people in different countries that help you out, whether it be funneling money to your campaign, whether it be funneling information through your campaign, funneling dirt through your campaign. And I think Vladimir Putin, because he was friends with Rex Tillerson, who is great friends with Donald Trump, saw an opportunity to get those embargoes and those sanctions lifted off his country, which has economically crippled Russia. They're sitting on tons and tons and tons of natural gas and natural resources, and they are trying to sell that stuff so they can recreate the Soviet Empire. That's everybody knows he's an expansionist, Vladimir Putin, and he saw an opportunity in Donald Trump through friendships, through Rex Tillerson and others, that he could get that man elected. Did he throw him some help? Absolutely. I think Donald Trump would be a liar if he said that the Russian government did not help him. That's absolutely 100%. The fact that the liberals are throwing their hands up in the air and, oh my God, this country that we're all against is help, that's a lot of crap. Barack Obama got help. Hillary Clinton was getting help from the Saudi royal family, who dumped hundreds of millions of dollars into her campaign. Everybody does that. Every president does that. Donald Trump wasn't doing anything different than every other person, every other candidate does. But what does not happen is you are not allowed to eavesdrop. You are not allowed to wiretap their conversations where they are just private citizens, and you are definitely, without a warrant, not allowed to drop their names on who was talking to who. And so General Flynn took the fall for that, because there's no doubt in my mind that he was involved in conversations with the Russian government before Donald Trump won. And of course, the conversations probably went something like, hey, if we win, we're going to work on trying to get Congress to drop some of those sanctions against your country. And they said, well, we're going to provide some server information through WikiLeaks on what we have on Hillary Clinton's server. And I think that Anthony Weiner took the fall for Hillary Clinton. I think there were more on those servers than what the American government. That's why they stopped Loretta Lynn at that airport and tried to wash those servers, because I believe there was some very dangerous information on Hillary Clinton's servers, on Bill Clinton's servers, on Ahmadinejad's servers, her secretary. I think that there was some damaging information, and I believe that they tried to bleach at the airport those servers so that WikiLeaks or others could not get that information off of those laptops. But I think some of the information was retained from those laptops. There's no doubt in my mind about that. So they wanted to know who Trump was dealing with, how was he getting this information, and they know there's no doubt in their mind that they were getting help from the Russian government. That's how they were getting some of those information. What was on Hillary Clinton's server, what was on her laptops. They were getting help, no doubt, from the Russian government. But it doesn't matter. I mean, it's still illegal to then turn around and drop the names of the people, the American citizens who were talking to the Russian officials. That is illegal. You did not go through the legal routes. You did not get a warrant for the wiretap. You wiretapped and then dropped names. They're going to get to the bottom of it. They're going to find out who was behind that. I guarantee it will be people that are associated, I believe, with the Obama administration and might have even been campaigning for Hillary Clinton. Those names are going to get found, and we all know even those people are going to take the fall for Barack Obama. Those people are going to take the fall for Hillary Clinton. We all know that who gave the orders. The orders come from the top. Those people did not go rogue and wiretap those phones and drop those names. There's no way in the world that they did that. So I'm going to close the show with that. But again, it is very important that you keep pressure on the American government. You keep pressure on your local senators, your local congressmen, your local House of Representatives. It is very important that you keep pressure on them because we need to get that wall built. We need to absolutely vet people that are coming into this country. There are too many terrorist attacks going on all over the world, and we absolutely 110% need to find out who wiretapped Donald Trump's phones, because there's no doubt in my mind that happened. I want to thank you so much for listening to my show today. Again, Google Chris Garcia, the Conservative American. I always told you I will keep the truth coming and I will keep it real with you. We will be up on YouTube in a couple of hours, and we always stream live on RadioTribune.com 5 days a week from 1 to 1:30. Once again, if you have any comments, you enjoy my show, definitely push the bell and subscribe on YouTube and each one of my shows, as well as push the bell and subscribe to Face the Tribune with Rolando Larraz, and our show will come straight onto your laptop, your tablet, your computer. I want to, thank you so much for listening to the show. Again, you can call my cell phone number directly and tell me what you think of the show, 702-600-0005. I will take your call directly. If you'd like to be on, I will let you talk to my executive producer or my head of social media, Cian Garcia or Kaylee Garcia, and you can set up a time to be on the show. We would love to hear from you and love to hear what you think. Once again, thank you for watching. God bless America. God bless our troops, and Godspeed to our great president, Donald Trump.